Possibly the best example of fight or flight response of all time was his set against Tweak at Evo, like a long time ago. Did you ever watch that? I say, even if you didn't see the set, I'm sure you've seen the clip. He's playing Charizard under the platform on PS2, on the right platform right there. And he's in a shield like this, and MKLeo's right behind him like this, and he jumps and goes for fair one.
Gonna survive. Leo has our sent out. This could go either way.
Oh, he reads him, but he does not pull the trigger on that forward tilt, and now this could take him out.
Is on fight or flight response because he just sat in shield like this for like, I don't even know how long, not this long, but maybe it's like a second or a second and a half. They just rolled. It's like, well, how did MKLeo not, or how did he know not to do this early or not to do it late? And this is something that you could be doing for your ledge trapping as well. I know, a beautiful segue, but it's the truth with regards to getting people to panic or not panic off the ledge. You kind of pointed it out earlier when you said how much I'm respecting the bomb. That can buy you time, even if you don't think it will. Because if I don't respect it, just blow it up. And I'm going to learn, or I should learn. Because if I don't learn, I'm just going to be taking damage for free for basically no reason. So I think there's maybe two situations ever where someone wouldn't respect the bomb. They might not respect the bomb if they themselves are, let's say, very, very good players and very comfortable working around the bomb, and they might have Z-drop combos of their own. That's one way they might not respect it because they actually want it. And the other one is they don't respect you as a player for your ledge trapping ability because maybe you haven't shown them that your bomb on the ledge is a actual big deal, or you as a ledge trapper at roll distance or covering jumps or whatever, you're not going to miss.
I think that's the part I need to work on.
It's a bit of execution, right? But also tapping into that fight or flight response as well too. But you know what fight or flight response is, right? Possibly?
Yeah, you panic, you stop thinking properly, and you go to probably your autopilot response.
Yes. That's not necessarily wrong. That is what it is. It's panicking and then going to like an autopilot thing. That's part of it, but it's also the timing that it takes to do it. So the fight or flight response is, let's say for example, if I were to run up to you and I don't know what you're going to do, I'm going to run and shield because I'm panicking, right? And then for like, let's say a split second, I'm going to assess if the coast is clear. And then I'm going to act once I believe that I do have time or that the coast is in fact clear. So that timing, I couldn't tell you exactly what it is in seconds or in frames, unfortunately, but you can definitely get a feel for it.
I've heard people talk about this, it being like the time people take to assess a new situation and then pick an option is like 40 frames.
Tilde is absolutely a master at this with regards to getting people in a situation where they have to rely on their fight or flight, and he's done it so many times where it's like, let's say if you're the person scared, he just pushes you on shield, and then as soon as he thinks that you're going to like drop shield or jump out of shield or try and up smash him, he just up smashes you first. Well, how did you know I was going to do it then and not like 10 frames earlier or 10 frames later? You got it on the exact frame. And that shit happens all the time. So
yeah, it does.
And that's one of those things where it's like, if you can tune into that and be aware of it, I talk about player emotion all the time with regards to just coaching in general. Like if someone's a high percent, how would their mannerisms or their behaviors represent that they're at high percent? If they don't care about dying, then you just kill them. But if they do care about dying, they're going to shield more, they're going to run more, they're going to allow you to hit their shield, and they might not do anything because they're scared of getting reversed. That's all fight or flight response. And like I was referencing before with MKLeo, I think I'll have to find the clip and send it to you, because in the context of just doing it, it was cool. But to just know on a grand stage that it's still true, even with way more nerves and way more pressure, so the timing was still the same. So it is, I don't know if I would say intrinsically constant, that's probably the wrong way of saying it, but almost it doesn't matter what level you're playing at, who you are, or what the circumstances are, your fight or flight response is going to be within a few frames, which is pretty insane. So it's like, if you can learn this and memorize it, it's pretty much a constant. Here's the thing, I can say if it ever doesn't work, it's typically because the person didn't panic at all, or they purposely push themselves past the fight or flight because their choice was to say, you know what, although I do feel safe and I'm going to assess the situation and act, the thing that I'm choosing to act upon is staying in shield. I've even seen situations like this, and this is reminding me too, I've seen situations like this, DeBuzz versus Cola, where Cola got DeBuzz to act on his fight or flight response twice in one interaction and still killed him. It was actually insane. He like reset. I don't even know how that was possible, but he literally pulled it off. You know what? Just for fun, I kind of want to time it and see if it ended up being 80 frames, because that would be unbelievable if it was. Yeah, these examples, these are things that you can pull out in neutral, on shield, corner pressure, sharking on platforms, ledge trapping, basically anywhere.
But you're saying I could also use it defensively because people use it offensively. I'm not sure exactly how to train that other than just play a lot and kind of get a feel for it?
I would say it's an awareness thing for yourself to be like, I'm going to attempt to try and scare someone and then see if I can catch them slipping. You can try and put someone in a situation, or you can try and identify when somebody would be scared. So the situation.
So even just like
Go ahead.
dash up and then dash back or something, or just dash up.
That
Shield.
there's more to it than that, unfortunately. But the number one way, or there's a couple different, I guess, components to this. But the main things are, if you're trying to get someone to be scared, they have to have a reason to be scared. Okay, so if you just try and run up and like run on someone's shield and they're at 0, they're not going to care. Or if they're winning, it's definitely not going to work. However, if it's, let's say, not even like last stock, last hit, because if you just do it and you don't care and you could also die, then it's a ballsy play, and it might work, but it's probably not going to. But the places where it would work is if I'm at very high percent, right, or if I'm on my last stock. Those are the spots where you're going to get fight or flight response to kick in, because someone, like, let's say for example, if you're at 140 and I'm at like 12, if you, let's say if we were to set up the situation here, the way that this would kick in and where I would try to identify this on the spot. So you're at 140, I'm at 12. If you were to jump towards me, and let's say you came down with a fair and then you spot dodged because you got scared, or you dash attacked, or you, let's say you ran up to me and you tried to go for up B and I shielded, right? After your up B, let's say, or maybe I didn't shield, let's say I jumped over your up B, okay? I came down like this. As soon as I see that you're in that situation, I'm going to try and push you right there, right after your up B. It might be roll, it might be shield, right? And here's the thing, just because someone's scared, I'll also say this is very important too. And this is why this is also not easy to do as well. But just because someone is scared does not mean that they're going to act in the way that you think they will. So for example, if I think you being scared equals you shielding, it might actually equal you spot dodging or jumping or throwing out jab immediately or rolling or something else. So these are things that I'd also have to try and scope out or scout out during the game or during a set to say, okay, what is this person's main panic option when something bad happens or they are kicking into that fight or flight response. If I'm constantly, let's say, putting you in bad spots where, let's say, you're air dodging and then you shield, I'm going to say, okay, that's probably one of that's going to be this fight or flight response. Like panic option is shielding, right? Because you could go like this, then immediately try and spot dodge, or you could try and jab, right? Or you could try and roll or run or whatever. But if you went like this into this, I know naturally that air dodge into shield, just hold the button all the way through. That makes sense. But you also consciously chose to not do something else. No one told you to stay in shield. Right? When you landed like this, you could have rolled or you could have tried to fight or anything you wanted to, but you didn't pick that. You did pick shield because shield typically means safety. So I'd be looking for that throughout the game or throughout the set to say, okay, maybe I wasn't quick enough to get you right then and there, or maybe you're at too low of a percent. So instead of trying to like get an up smash or like push your shield and then up smash, I'm just going to grab you. I'm not going to waste the punish. I'm just going to get something else. And then in the future, let's say next time you're not like at, let's say 40 and you do something like that, or it's like down here, or you miss a tech and it's easier, or maybe you tech in place, you shield immediately. That's another good spot to find it too, is after tech situations. If you can't get there in time to punish the option that you wanted, let them do the option and just push them. Because if they tech in place, it's like, okay, he's probably going to dash attack me or try and run up and forward tilt or up smash or something. So I'm going to try not to get hit by that. I'm going to shield. If you see that, you push them and say, okay, what's this guy doing? Is he going to push me forever? Okay, well, I'm just going to do something because I want to keep playing. That's what you up smash right there, and you catch them. That whole conversation or that whole dialogue plays out in your head every single time. You might not actually say it to yourself like that, but that's what's happening. I like to think of it this way. Your fight or flight response can be easily represented in the way of crossing the street when you're younger. You get to the street, or you should do this unless you're a crazy kid. You get to the street, you look both ways, see if it's safe, and then you go. That's your fight or flight response in a nutshell. You can definitely take this away in the future. Yeah. You will definitely see it a lot, and it's almost brain dead obvious. I have a couple clips or a video I'm gonna put out in the future of me playing with some other students and having those situations happen, and it'll be interesting to see from that perspective for sure. Like I was saying as well, these things that are this fight or flight response, this is something that you're going to want to use with regards to your ledge trapping, because once again, when people have a default or a turtling option where it's like, okay, I don't know how to get off the ledge, so I'm going to pick my favorite thing. My favorite thing is roll from ledge, or neutral get up into shield from ledge, or fair from ledge, or whatever it is. They're going to do the same thing every single time, or not every single time, but they're going to do that more often than not, provided that they are in fact scared or they don't know what to do. So if you can catch someone not knowing what to do, you can simulate that situation, or you can set up that pattern on purpose by dashing up to the ledge, for example, or throwing the bomb down at the ledge and empty hopping right beside it, so they think, oh, roll's wide open. You dash back and you get your up smash. It's going to be a mind-blowing thing for you. I'm sure you. Here's the thing. I know you get it. I'm sure you get it, and I'm sure you've seen it. But when you see it now, you're gonna be like, "Bruh,
Yeah, like
this
I
is gonna be
haven't
so obvious."
thought about using it to my advantage.
100%. You got to do it.
I just feel like I haven't like optimized my like combo game or ledge trapping game enough to like warrant people being scared. But maybe that's not true. Maybe people will be scared anyway.
There's ways to get people to be scared of you as well. One of the biggest things that you can do, and this is like a top player thing to do, and this is almost like an obvious thing to do, is make sure that when you swing on someone, you're not completely missing or mistiming your approaches or your attacks. What I mean by that is if you have a chance to hit somebody and they clearly made a mistake, let's say if I run up on you with like a missed dash attack, and then you throw a forward tilt way too late and I get a chance to shield your spot dodge, meanwhile I was completely in the wrong and you could have got a punish, I'm not going to respect you because I know I can make mistakes and you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So a situation like that, for example, if I got on stage and I shielded, you ran up to me and then up B, it's like, no, you should be getting a punish. I should not be getting a punish for up being on stage, unscathed, and then I get a up smash or an F smash. Oh, this guy's different. Yeah.
The bait.
Super different. No, I'm sad. There, I got him.
You did get him.
I did in fact get him.